Hello, everybody. Brian David Marshall here in the Tournament Center with Pro Tour Hall of Famer Randy Buehler. And, if you've been following along, we got to see Reed Duke draft. Here you get a look behind us at the table. And so you can see that Reed Duke was passing to his left, and 3 seats away sat the man who supplanted him in the Player of the Year race this past season, Jeremy Dezani. So, Jeremy Dezani, maybe we might see some cards rippling through that we saw go through Reed's hands as well. But what are you expecting from Jeremy?
Yeah, I don't know, which is kind of the awesome part about this whole Pro Tour. I do see that this other end of the table, you've got Dezani, Stern, Manfield all in a row. Kind of interesting that, downstream of Jeremy and affecting his second pack, the cards he's going to get back there, is multiple Grand Prix titles hanging out. Excellent drafters, all of them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we did a draft with Jeremy last Pro Tour season, and he really displayed a willingness to go deep on colors and run multiple colors. So
that's a good point.
This should be a format then that's right up his alley.
You're just hoping somebody will draft Trail of Mystery Secret Plans,
yeah,
right?
Obviously.
Okay, we'll see.
Obviously. So let's take a look at what happened. There you see the hands of the Player of the Year, Jeremy Dezani, as he prepares to look at his first pack of this Pro Tour. There you see a Treasure Cruise and a Mardu Skull Hunter coming to the front of the pack.
Secret Plans. We got one in the house. You would first pick Secret Plans here, wouldn't you?
I have certainly first picked Secret Plans.
I might be tempted by Skull Hunter, honestly. I mean, Misfire Weaver might be the best card in the pack, but the black-white, I also know Reed drafted a black-white Warriors deck, so maybe knowing that, he probably doesn't want to go that way. Anyway, yeah, Misfire Weaver is certainly a solid card here. It's a morph. It's a flying creature.
Yeah, 3/1 flyer for 3. It's a combat trick, or a counter spell type of ability. He did take the Misfire Weaver.
Yeah, not the most exciting pack in the world. Like, you're really hoping that your pack will give you something to be excited about.
Which means it's perfectly acceptable to take the Secret Plans there.
Yeah, I'll buy that. If you believe the 5-color morph deck is actually good. Is that Ice Feather Aven?
That is an Ice Feather Aven.
That would have gone very well with your Secret Plans.
Singing Bell Strike, Crippling Chill, Abomination of Good all come to the front of the pack.
It's got to be Ice Feather Aven, right?
Even absolutely. Plans. Ice Feather Aven, 2/2 flyer for 2, but you can also play it face down as a morph and unmorph it for 3 mana to bounce something.
It's actually a really strong pack here. I mean, he's drafting a card which is better than his first pick, but also in the same colors as his first pick.
Yeah.
So that kind of works out that he's got kind of dibs on blue-green. And you really want to be in an enemy color pair in this draft format. The way things line up with all the enemy color uncommons and the way that you have access to kind of 2 different clans if you start with an enemy color pair.
Right, so explain that. So he can go Sultai here, or he can go Temur here.
Precisely.
From a blue-green base.
Right, from blue-green you can get, if you're in a friendly color pair, there's only 1 clan you can get to with a single splash.
So it looks like
Heartpiercer's really strong. Not in his colors at this point, but it might be strong enough to think about.
Yeah, Mardu Heartpiercer considered one of the top uncommons in the set.
But
Mystic in the Hidden Way.
Super awesome, super powerful.
See,
Mystic is in his blue-green deck. I mean, it's a morph. Heartpiercer is a better card, but it looks like he may value the color consistency here.
Looks like actually, Opulent Palace. Yeah, the Triland. That's a Sultai colored mana.
Sure.
So he's sort of dipping a toe in the direction of the Sultai.
Yeah, Heartpiercer would have been the most powerful card there, but Opulent Palace definitely going to make his deck a lot more consistent. Even if he's just blue-green, he'll still
Bear's Companion. That's a pretty strong signal, right?
Bear's Companion is a very good uncommon. It is 3-color.
Two of the colors he's already in.
Right, this would say Splash, but if he'd gone Heartpiercer, he'd feel a lot better about sort of heading down the Temur path.
Feat of Resistance also, one of the top commons in the set.
Agreed. He's not well positioned for white.
Very, very difficult to be banned.
Yeah, he's much better positioned for.
He does take the base bet. Yeah.
That's a nice pick there. Probably wishes he had the Heartpiercer now rather than the Opulent Palace, but what are you going to do?
I mean, he probably wished he had the Heartpiercer the moment he passed it, before he even saw his next pack. Oh, wow.
Another one?
Deja Vu all over again. And a Mystic in the Hidden Way.
Yeah,
and a Scion of Glaciers, a card I really like. Smoke Teller in the back.
Good.
By the way, 2-drops I think are so huge in this format.
I think, though, that there's value in being the only guy in your clan. Like, if he passes that Bear's Companion, there's danger that he'll create another Temur drafter.
Oh, by the way, can we just talk about the fact that there's a debilitating injury in this pack?
Yeah.
He took Scion of Glaciers there.
Yeah, it's very good. It's definitely very good. I might have gone Bear's Companion just to make sure I don't accidentally create another Temur drafter.
Yeah.
Now what do do we got? There's several blue cards. Wow, War Streaker. The red
Yeah,
raid cards.
Mardu is wide open in this direction. So John Stern.
The red piece in particular. He
Yeah.
hasn't seen much of the black and the white.
John Stern or Seth Manfield's going to end up having, I would guess, be in Mardu at this point.
Yeah, he takes the assassin. Yeah, whoever took that heart piecer is now going to get past the War Streaker pretty late for that card, in my opinion. But Jeremy's deck is fine.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
I mean, solid blue-green.
Right. I'm interested to see if in Pack 2 he's created that teamer drafter you're worried about. Thornwood Falls, you just slam your mana fixing at this point?
Yeah.
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 We heard people talking yesterday about like just taking those lands super early to like screw up the rest of the table.
Yeah, one of the advantages of being the 5-color drafter and just greedily taking all the lands is that everybody else's deck gets worse.
All the 3-color decks suffer.
All the 3-color decks suffer, for sure.
Wow, a Mardu Rough Rider.
Yeah, Mardu does look open.
Wetland Sandbar.
And you were talking about the 2-drops. It is
Yeah.
important. You want to be able to do something before you get to the morph
Yeah,
turn.
he had that Wetland Sandbar just right. This is what I'm taking. Let me just
It
see
doesn't
if
look
there's
exciting.
anything else.
I mean, obviously 2-1 vanilla for 2, but you want to make a 2-drop in this format. And there's a couple of 1-drops that are worth playing as well. But I mean, being able to come out and just get onto the front foot before people start playing their morphs is super nice. Treasure Cruise.
Treasure Cruise, there's Secret Plans came back around.
Oh, it came all the way back.
Yeah,
So at this point, there's not a 5-color drafter.
It's like Top Secret Plans at this point.
Top
Nobody.
Yeah, nobody at this table seems to want to be on the Secret Plans deck. It's definitely a deck you can draft. Especially, man, if you get past that 6th or 7th and you know that you'll get past any others.
Yeah, there's Abomination of Goodall came back around, so that's the Sultai. He could still be Sultai, could still be Teamer.
Fair.
Don't know what he's going to do yet. His mana's a little better for Sultai because he's got the Opulent Palace.
All true. Abomination's not the best of the common morphs. It's probably the weakest of that cycle.
I really like it. If in Sultai, it does exactly what you want to do.
Sure. Yeah, being able to loot is certainly exciting for that deck.
So Rotting Mastodon, just round out, sort of the mandatory sort of drag picks as you go through the back of the pack.
It's interesting, though. I know that when we were watching Reed's draft, Active Treasons were still hanging out.
what?
Bear's Companion?
Wait, what? What just happened?
Wow.
So he did not create, I'm going to just go on the record right now and say he did not create a second teamer drafter.
Wow. Well, now he's got to be a teamer. I mean, when the Bear's Companion comes all the way back around there, you're just in. Now this is your deck. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
You know Mardu's open, but whatever.
Those bears are going on double dates. There's 2 of them.
Yeah, they do such a good job of turning on all the ferocious cards that are in the set. He seems like he's in the right colors. I mean, that's all you can really ask for is like, how do you draft your seat? And he's in the right colors for his seat.
Right, and he can also get himself in a position where he can really lock up the ground, finish off the game with a couple flyers, depending on what the next couple packs give him. Those Bear's Companions, they can be very aggressive, but they're also really good at just like, holding off an early onslaught from your opponent.
Yeah, I mean the card's not a bomb, but I mean as a 14th pick, 13th pick, whatever it was.
It is certainly better than 13th pick card.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, if you're the only guy in your clan, that's what happens. That's why if you can pull it off to be the only teamer drafter, the only Mardu drafter.
Did I see something that rhymes with Bavage Buckleblade?
Oh, whoa. I was excited about the Bear Punch.
Yeah.
It's like Bear Punch is perfect.
This is a great pack. There's also a debilitating injury in that pack.
Sure. But I mean, Savage Knuckleblade is the pick. This is a complete no-brainer. It is one of the most ridiculous bombs in the set. And, oh, by the way, you're already in the right colors. Sign me up.
Yeah, and Jeremy, that's exactly what he did. He's like, I will look through the rest of the pack, but I've already got this one.
Yeah.
I know exactly what I'm taking here. And so, this could be really good for Jeremy. Again, if John Stern, picked up that the Mardu.
Yeah, he should have created Mardu drafters.
Yeah, there should be 1 or 2, red-black drafters.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, he should get paid off. See what happens.
Past debilitating injury. There's a Long Shot Squad.
Solid.
Arrow Storm.
Chief.
There's an Avalanche Tusker.
Jeez. How about we just keep getting past on-color rares? Is that a good plan in this format?
That
Just
is
keep drafting all the rares from your
perfectly
clan?
reasonable plan for. But I think it is a reasonable plan actually in this format because,
Yeah.
like you said,
It
if you
happens
can,
more than you
if
think
you
it
can
would.
sort of understand what's going on, read the table, and know that, well, I'm just going to be the guy that gets these cards, and you have to respond to it early enough
Yeah, you
before
see
someone else responds to it.
And you see at this table how much the 3-color cards are getting passed because nobody wants to be fighting for them. People are like, oh, I want to be the 2-color aggro deck. Nobody went to the Secret Plans deck, which can just suck up all the rares. And
So there's another Thornwood Falls.
Wind Scout's pretty good too. It's just a good card.
Master the Way. You think of it as a Jeskai card, but it's two of your teamer colors.
Oh, but Thornwood Falls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think his power level is so high at this point that I think prioritizing mana fixing makes a lot of sense. It's going Wind Scout maybe? It's a single color card that helps.
I feel like he takes the second card in
okay.
in his sort a lot. Like he's like, this is the one I
He's
want,
pump
but this is
faking
the
us.
one I'm gonna take. So he does take that's his second of those.
Yeah, the Armament Core is floating through. This is not a table of 3-color drafters. That's Sultai Ascendancy still hanging out.
Yeah, Kintree Warden for morphs.
Obzon Guides are flowing. Yeah, you definitely can see tables in this format where people are just afraid to be solidly 3-color. Everybody wants to be 2-color, maybe 2 and a splash. Nobody has gone 5-color morphs. Nobody has gone. I mean, even there may be clans that just don't have anybody doing the solid 3-color version of that.
Crippling Chill was the pick there.
Yeah.
Just
good solid card. I mean, none of those gold cards really fit his deck specifically, so I love his deck. I mean, I think that, yeah, it's in this format, another Secret Plans. If somebody had gone that way, they'd be paid off for sure. Oh, 2-drop.
Yeah,
it's an awesome
I really. And
Heir
also,
of the Wilds is
yeah,
spectacular.
It's a 2-drop that trades with almost anything you want it to.
Right.
Because of Death Touch.
Right, and I mean, the fact that it attacks better with Ferocious is nice too. Yeah, Heir of the Wilds. I would not Rugged Highlands here. I mean, we value mana fixing, but getting a good 2-drop is so powerful.
He does go
Great.
with the 2-drop. And that like of the 2-drops, that is, I think in the top tier.
Yeah, Secret of the Way might be better, but that's about it.
Yeah. Is that another Abzan guy?
It is.
Just
the Abzan guides are just flowing.
Going around the table.
Nobody is an Abzan at this table, would be my guess.
It's like when you go to San Diego and those guys on the bicycles are trying to get you to jump on, and they're trying to drive you around. They're like, come on, come on. And you're like, no, I'm all right, I'll walk. That's what's going on at this table.
Yeah.
You take Highland Game here, another 2-drop. He's got 3, 2-drops in his main 2 colors, green and blue.
He's got power, he's got mana fixing, he's got consistency. This deck, this is everything you could want from this format.
Doesn't have removal.
Yeah.
There was a Savage Punch that he passed.
That's fair.
He had to take what he took. There's a long shot squad.
I mean, he's got an Ice Feather Aven. Blue and green aren't exactly removal colors, but yeah, you're right.
He'd love an Arc Lightning. He'd love a
Sure.
Bring Low.
Savage Punch is the one he should.
Well, he couldn't.
Deserves.
He couldn't take the Savage Punch. He had to take the Knuckle Blade.
But I mean, that's usually the removal the teamer deck shows up with. It's funny. A lot of people are saying, "Are you supposed to be 2-color in this format? Are you supposed to be 5-color? Are you supposed to be 3-color?" For a while,
yes.
people. Yeah, completely agree. That's exactly where I was going. I think the answer is all of the above when it's correct. Like depending on your seat and the people around you, any of those answers can be correct.
There's a Swift Kick. I don't love that as removal.
No, but I mean, in a pinch, if you remove a light, it's not crazy to just take one as a speculation.
Took cancel there.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
Could
Swift Kick, I feel like
could have also taken Weave Fate, but I don't think he has time for that.
Nah.
Savage Punch came around?
What on earth? Jeremy Dezani, ladies and gentlemen. It must be nice to be the king.
I'll take the Savage Knuckle Blade, and I'll have for my appetizer. I'll have the Savage Punch. Thanks.
How does that come back?
Can I get that with the main meal?
That's got to be more ridiculous than 13th pick Bears campaign.
Absolutely.
It's not 3-color. Like a 3-color card coming back, I'll buy.
Dragon Scale Boon and Windstorm.
Dragon Scale Boon, that's removal, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I like Windstorm also. I like having that card on my sideboard, but.
Yeah, I like having Dragon Scale Boon though.
Yeah.
Like, especially when you're the guy who's threatening the 5-mana morphs and people are trying to block you before you get to 5 mana. You're like, you know what I can do for 4 mana? Here, let's put 2+1/+1 counters. And the Snowhorn Rider came back too.
Snowhorn Rider and a Kintree Warden and and another Sambar, so he could like.
Yeah, I think he takes.
Yeah, he absolutely takes that. I'm just saying, like, he had even if that was gone, there were picks for him still in this pack.
This deck, The Sultai Ascendancy just keeps floating.
Yeah. Even the Sultai players don't always take that.
Wow, this is about as well as the draft can go in this
We
format.
still have a pack to go.
Isn't he done?
No.
I mean, he could probably put. I don't know if he could get 23 playables out of 2 packs.
See him
But he
take a
must be
Sultai banner.
close.
Where have you ended up on banners?
They're playable.
Right.
Like, if you need to, when you're in the solidly 3-color deck, you know, sometimes you just need more mana pips.
Yeah.
I think that the context of the format, the fact that they're competing with morphs, makes them a little bit awkward.
Right.
So I'm never excited to have to play them, but you know what? They're there when you need them.
So Savage Knuckleblade, Avalanche Tusker, 2 Bears Companions,
Yeah.
premium 2-drops.
And yet somehow his curve's still good. You know,
Yeah.
You're like Bears Companion, Avalanche Tusker, but he's also got a trio of solid 2-drops. I don't know if I'm supposed to call the Sandbar solid, but
I mean, it is though. I
he's
mean,
got
it
an
still
Ice Feather
it
Aven,
still
which you
trades with
can
a
play
morph.
as a 2-drop,
Yeah.
although you rarely do. This deck is spectacular.
Yeah. This is a deck befitting the Player of the Year.
Oh yeah, and this is just showing off what's possible in the format. You're like, all right, fine, I'll take this first Bears Companion.
Right.
You know, and the thing is, you're not committed to one of the clans just because you take a 3-color gold card. I mean,
Right.
sometimes you open Savage Knuckleblade and you just put the blinders on, and you're like, this
Sure.
draft is easy mode because
Sure.
I've got the blinders on.
And,
But I mean, you take a 3-color, whether it's a common morph or something, or one of the uncommons like a Bear's Companion. Think of it as speculating.
Right.
You're like, if this is open, I'll have a Bear's Companion.
and sometimes, depending on how the mana fixing goes, you can splash that 4th color. You can splash a 2nd clan into your clan.
Yeah, or you can be 2-color but splashed for a Bear's Companion and
Right.
another card.
So third, can this pack live up to the expectation of the
No.
first 2 packs?
No, but it can give him another couple of solids.
Right.
And
So what do you think he's looking for at this point?
another Savage Knuckleblade. I mean, you're like, how are you going to make this
or
deck any
another
better?
Savage Punch or another?
Yeah, I would settle for Savage Punch, but you're gonna let me pick. I'm gonna put another Savage Knuckleblade in here.
So there's another.
Mana.
There's a Rugged Highlands.
Yeah, a Tri-land.
Is that another Avalanche
It is.
Tusker? It's not even a legend. He can just play them both.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's better than Rugged
He's like,
Highlands. It's
sorry,
gotta be.
Rugged Highlands. I'll let the Abzen guides.
I hope you come back.
I mean, but he'd also take the Mystic, the Mystic of the Hidden Way happily if that came back.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I definitely think that mana should be a priority.
Yeah.
He is a solidly 3-color deck. He's
Yes.
playing, he's fully teamer. He doesn't have much in the way of mana fixing at this point.
He has 6 teamer colored cards.
Right. And doesn't have that many multi-lands.
Right.
Right.
And in
his
fact, the
Opulent
multi-lands,
Palace is only 2 colors for him.
Right.
You know, he's got a couple.
He's got 2 Thornwood Falls, so he's got a lot of blue-green cover, but he doesn't have a lot of
Yeah,
free
the red.
access to red.
Yeah. And Snowhorn Rider.
Oh,
Teamer
there's
Charm.
a Teamer Charm.
Might as well. Thornwood Falls over Teamer Charm would not be crazy here. I mean, I could
I mean,
defend either of those
it is
picks.
very reasonable that the Teamer Charm is just going to come back
Oh, that's
around.
a great point. Oh, Jeskai Elder. Jeskai Elder is a great 2-drop. And it kind of is mana fixing. The fact that you're looting and
Right.
digging into your deck, it's sort of sideways mana fixing. I would not take the Teamer Charm. I think it's probably coming back.
I do
would be
too.
on
I do
Thornwood
too.
Falls. I would take Elder over Wing Scout here, I think.
I think he's going to go with the Falls.
Totally reasonable.
But you can't tell by the way he sorts. And there it goes.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, his power level is so high that he just wants color fixing.
Yeah, he almost didn't want to see that Avalanche Tusker. He really wanted to just be able to take that Rugged Highlands
Agreed.
in pack 1 and not have to think about it. Well, there's a
Flames
Teamer
not bad.
Ascendancy.
Jeez. Multi-land? Multi-land?
If I
No.
can-
Teamer Ascendancy is so sick.
So all of his Avalanche Tuskers and Savage Knuckleblades now
They're
just
they're
get
hasty
haste and draw a card.
cantrips.
Yeah.
Yeah, Teamer Ascendancy is insane in this
Right.
deck. It's one of those cards when your opponent plays Teamer Ascendancy on turn 3, you just cross your fingers and close your eyes.
Yeah, please
It's
don't
like
play a
You
fourth
can't do
land.
anything about it, but if they have the 4/4 to follow it up with, it is absurd.
This has gone, I would say, about as well as he could have hoped, but it actually just far exceeds his expectations.
Oh
I
yeah,
think.
so far above expectations. You can't imagine the draft.
So they're singing Bellstrike. That's a removal spell. There's-
Trail of Mystery. Rugged,
Yeah.
I take Rugged Highlands.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Not even gonna think about it. I'm all over Rugged Highlands here. I mean, singing is fine. Trail of Mystery would have been there if somebody had done the Secret Plans. They
You could
had
have
two
dub-
Secret
two
Plans
Secret Plans.
and a Trail of
Yeah.
Mystery in a morph deck if someone had gone that way.
And what's really, I think, important for that is like cards like Kintree Warden, which are cheap to unmorph.
Sure. And other people, Jeremy hasn't even been all that interested in the Kintree Wardens. They come to you if you go to that deck.
That's right, yeah. I would much rather have Jeremy's deck, though.
But you wouldn't, because you would have first picked Secret Plans, and you would not have this deck.
I would
Actually,
not,
you might.
I would
have.
have. Wow, look at that Butcher of the Horde. What
That's
is going
crazy.
on here?
Why would you play 3-color cards in this format? Oh, Alpine Grizzly is solid.
Yeah.
This black-green land, that doesn't help. I mean, I guess you Alpine Grizzly, or do you put a Butcher of the Horde in your sideboard so nobody flies over all your monsters?
So just that wedge of, hey, he takes the Alpine Grizzly, just that wedge of three like players with Grand Prix experience. I feel like all three of their decks are going to be.
They've played nice.
They've played nice. I feel like
They've
all
played
three of
nice.
their decks should be insane.
Yeah,
I'm
that's fair.
curious who ended up Mardu and who ended up with whatever,
Yeah.
maybe a Jeskai deck. Seems like it's been there as well. Villainous Wealth. Ponyback
No
Brigade.
multi-lands. Guess you take Crippling Chill. I mean, at this point, it's not even. He doesn't even need cards, right?
No.
He's got plenty. Scout
Thinking
the
about
Borders
Scout
is
the Borders. Yeah.
It's not good in Teamer. It's basically. I think it's only good if you actually have
you,
Delve cards in
you
your
really
deck
want
that
it to
you're
be
fueling.
a Cabal Ritual.
Yeah, you need it to be generating mana via
Yeah.
Delve. That's the wrong land.
So close.
Icy Blast?
Icy Blast. This is just ridiculous.
What is going on with this deck? I mean, you clearly take Icy Blast.
Icy Blast is good if you're not Teamer. If you don't have Ferocious, it's a fine card. But if you have like, a quartet of bears and their companions,
you may
it
not
becomes,
need people. You may not need the Ferocious ability
Yeah,
to kill them
yeah,
after you
it's just-
tap their team, but you get 2 shots at them if
Yeah.
you're Ferocious.
it is just
Absurd.
ridiculous. There's a Disdainful Stroke.
Yeah, it's probably better than the Warden. Oh, Archer's
Just
Parapet.
maybe to take the Archer. Do you think about a Naturalize? Like, do you
I
start thinking
never
about
actually
sideboard
wind up sideboarding that in. Like, what are you going to see that's going to get you to side it
Ascendancies?
in? Yeah, he goes for the morph.
Yeah.
Reasonable.
I like
I don't think he's
Disdainful
gonna play
Stroke too.
it. I think I
I
would've
really
Disdainful
like
Stroke
having
there.
one of those in my money deck,
Yeah,
and
me
maybe
too.
sometimes another one in my board. Doesn't seem unreasonable. There's a
The
Windstorm.
came back. Oh, but the land. Never mind.
Yeah.
I'm not taking
In.
Windstorm over
Yeah,
Rugged
no,
Islands.
no.
That pick took about 0.4 seconds.
That's the quickest pick he's made in the entire draft.
Got plenty of playables, have insane power, but it's all 3-color. Every multi-land he can get his hands on is going straight in the deck.
I'll be curious to see how he builds.
And the Teamer Charm
of course
did
it
come
did.
back,
Of
just
course
like
it
we said
did.
it would. I mean, of course you take it here. It's great. Instant speed, combat trick, creature removal.
And by the way, was that a Mardu Warshrieker also in the pack
Sure,
that was just going around?
sure. Yeah, there should be a Mardu deck. I don't know if it's John Stern or Seth Manfield, but one of them should have a nutso Mardu deck.
It would be hard for me to not put John Stern on that.
Because that's who's on his immediate left.
That's on his immediate left, yeah. So Scout the Borders came back. That's Glacial Stalker,
Glacial
fine,
Stalker.
fine guy. He does not need to play that.
No, he's going to have options when he builds his deck. He's just going to decide how
He
many
has,
of
he
these
has about
morphs do I want.
28 or 29 cards. Kintree Warden came around.
Sure. That's not making
Yeah,
it. That's
no.
fine. Wow.
Just,
Pass the banner.
yep.
Sure.
Pass the banner, take the creature.
There you go.
Leave nothing relevant for the guy and with his last pick. That was just spectacular.
Ah.
Player of the Year, Jeremy Dezani, just going to get off to I have to expect, get off to a great start here
Yeah,
at this Pro Tour with
if
this
you
deck.
draft that deck, even if you're not the player of the year, anybody in this room who drafted that deck, I think would be disappointed with a 2-1.
Yeah,
Like that
absolutely.
is a 3-0 deck. It's very rarely you draft a deck and you're like, I should 3-0 with this deck. But he should 3-0 with this
Yeah,
deck. That is
absolutely.
as well as you can possibly imagine a deck coming together.
Yeah, it had everything. 2 drops, a little bit of removal, some tempo,
Power level, mana
level.
fixing.
Yeah.
It's got literally everything. Wow.
All right, so there you have it. Player of the Year, Jeremy Dezani, and his Teamer draft deck. I don't know. I can't wait to get back to my hotel room and fire up Magic Online and try to draft this myself.